What's up, YouTube? Today I have a Hulk video for you. That's right, the big green monster. Get a significant buff in the last patch update, and I'm starting to see a lot more of him in quick play and in ranked. So wanted to go over some of the stuff that I have learned of things to watch out for, some changes with the new kit, and some things that I can teach you to make him a lot more viable when you choose him in your games. So without further ado, let's get to the list. All right, if you are newer to Hulk, one of the first things you're going to want to do is master Hulk's jump. Unlike other characters in the game, Hulk's jump is an ability that you can use and charge up. The longer you charge it, the harder he will jump. So the farther you'll go, the higher you'll go, just depending on where you aim it. For me specifically, I don't like to hold the jump. I like to toggle jump. So if you are like me, especially starting out, I would suggest going into the settings, under combat, go to Bruce, specifically pull him up, go down under hero and look for hold to activate incredible leap and turn it off. Now, this is really more of a personal choice. Do you want to hold down the button? Do you want to toggle it? Honestly, especially early on, I say toggle. Once you get to the feeling of it, have at it, whatever you want to do. I personally like it because when I jump into a fight, I can tap the space bar one more time and let my jump start charging passively while I'm looking around, trying to fight, trying to pick out targets, trying to move around, trying to keep myself alive with my shield. And then if things start to go bad, I already have a full powered leap that I can just tap and fire in a direction. That way I'm getting out, I'm in less danger. I don't have to spend more time in the fight, and I don't have to be holding the space bar down while I'm also trying to use moves or move in a direction with my other fingers on that hand. Now, the caveat to that is, if you are not paying attention to your build meter and you tap jump to charge it and it was already charging, you're going to probably fly in a random direction. So please be wary that when you are charging your jump, if you hit it again, you are going wherever you're looking. So make sure you're paying attention to that jump. Okay, the reason that I told you guys to go through the settings and actually adjust how those are set and get yourself comfortable with that was because Hulk's leap is one of the biggest parts of his kit. First off, it's his mobility. It's how he gets around the map the fastest, as well as being able to take out flying enemies or enemies above you out of the air so that they aren't constantly berating your team with damage while they're trying to fight everything else that's around. You hit that jump button to start charging your jump, and what you'll notice is that this blue arrow will start to show up. It is a parabolic arc. That is going to be your jump path. Now, the really cool thing is they have implemented in this game a way for it to tell you if you're going to hit the flying enemy or not. That arrow will not pass through the flyer any longer, and it will stop at them, telling you visually this is going to land if you hit jump now. So if you have it tapped to jump, you hit the jump, you charge it up, you look at where that angle is going to land, you let it fly, you fly through the air, and then you hit the flyer and bring them to the ground. They are stunned for that duration as they are brought to the ground. Until they get back up, they are basically a sitting duck. Now, with Hulk, you want to throw in a couple punches as they are going through the air with you so that you can maximize the amount of damage that you have. But you don't actually have to do that. What you have to do is essentially hit them with the upper half of Hulk's torso, and that will make contact with their body and bring them to the ground. Now, the caveat for this is those flyers must be a certain amount of height away from the ground. I think the number is roughly about 10 meters. Anybody that's 10 meters or higher off of the ground, Hulk is going to be able to drag them to the ground with him. If they are under that 10-meter marker, you're just going to pass straight through them. It's not going to do any damage. It's not going to do anything to them. They're going to continue hurting your team, but at that point, they're probably going to be close enough that you could get a couple of punches in anyway. This also brings up the fact that height off of the ground is relative to the flyer, not Hulk. You can see the Human Torch is floating just barely off of the ground here in the practice range. And when he is that high off of the ground, I can't hit him with the jump. Now, he is just going to move a little farther back. And now the ground underneath him is going to be the ground next to that distance range, not the actual distance range itself. And when I jump, I take him out of the air because now relative to the ground, he is 10 meters off of the ground. So Hulk's jump will activate and bring him down. All right, last pointer and thing to look out for when you play Hulk is Hulk's ultimate. It is aptly named Hulk Smash, where you transform yourself from regular Hulk, Hero Hulk, it's called in this game, into Monster Hulk, where he's unleashed his stored gamma energy and becomes much bigger, much fiercer, but for a limited time. You transform for roughly 12 seconds. And as you can see from me scrolling here, his move list here on the right actually changes. So Hulk loses his ability to shield himself with gamma energy and just has his radioactive lockdown, incredible leap, and gamma burst left. The trade-off here is he loses the shield to gain a massive amount of health. He goes from his base 750 to 1500. It actually fully doubles. And when Hulk ults, no matter what HP Hulk had before he ulted, he goes up to 1500. So this is a great way to, if you are in a really bad situation, if you ult, you can save yourself and start turning the fight around and do massive damage back to the opponents because you just gave yourself an extra 1400 health that you didn't have a second ago. You also reset all of your abilities. So if you just used your lockdown and your gamma burst, when you transform, you get those back. And actually, gamma burst goes on a much shorter cooldown. So you can use it every 1 or 2 seconds, it looks like. So you want to be running at your opponents and clapping at them as much as possible because this is your range as they try and get away, and holding down that incredible leap to jump at them. Now, a couple of things. You got to be very careful when you ult with Hulk. The reason being, Hulk is not considered on the map or on the playable field while he is transforming. So there's some good and bad with that. The bad, or the things to really look out for, is if you are contesting the point and Hulk loses his life and transforms back into Bruce Banner, or you ult and go into Monster Hulk, or go into regular Hulk, you are not considered there and trying to capture the point, similar to Invisible Woman being invisible. So it makes it easier for the opponents to capture the point. And when you're a tank and it's your main job to stay on the point, this can be a very big detriment to Hulk's kit. So make sure that you are weary of that. If you are in a final push scenario and they hit you and you transform back, there's a very real chance that it is going to end the game if you're in overtime because you are out long enough that they can either cap it and win, or they can stop you from trying to cap it and overtime runs out. Now, the other part of that is there's a positive to it. And this gives Hulk one of the best ways to dodge ults from opponents in the game. Because he's not considered on the board at all. He dodges through Iron Man, he dodges through Doctor Strange, he dodges through Magneto. So if you can time that right, he will be completely invulnerable to all of those attacks while he is changing. And if you're changing from Hulk to Monster Hulk, now you are invulnerable for a few seconds and have 1500 health to start smacking around the opponents with. All right, everybody, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope that you feel more confident when you pick Hulk and go out and start smashing your opponents and taking those dubs left and right. If you guys have made it this far, I appreciate you. Please do all the stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you learned that you didn't know about Hulk. Let me know some other ideas that I can do for future videos as I get back into the Rivals content. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See you later.